Greetings, hello, and welcome everyone to Age of Mythology Retold. This is a 1v1 game. I'm really excited to be doing a casted game here between Gaius and Flu's World. Flu's World is playing as one of the Egyptian gods, whereas Gaius here is playing as Hades, one of my favorite civs in the entire game. We're playing on the map Savannah. Let's go ahead and reveal the entire map. We can see kind of off rip here that Gaius is going to be getting some food from the zebra. So is Flu's World. We're using the Pharaoh to enchant the town center, speed up that villager production a little bit, bringing some goats back to the town center. And we're both building drop-off points right here next to the gold mine. We're going to try and get some gold resources as quickly as possible. Seems initially right off the bat, we can see that they're both going for the same resources, which is great. I like this map a lot for ones. It's a wide open map. I think that kind of sometimes works a little bit better. That's a beautiful spot for a settlement right in between some gold piles and some wood. This one over here, the gold pile seems to be a little bit more spread out. There are some elephants there, too, for quite a bit of food if anyone decides to go hunting for those elephants. One thing that I may not be sure, and there may be a reason for this, is why Gaius hasn't activated the sentinel power that Hades gives right on a town center. I think that's something you should do pretty immediately for. The sentinel power drops those statues that will attack enemy units. I just love that so much, and I don't see a reason why you wouldn't drop it right away. Nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. We're seeing Gaius here is scouting more of the map, kind of getting a lay of the land where the additional gold piles are. If we flip over to Flu's World, not necessarily just as much as the map has been revealed by the gentleman, but nonetheless, there are some idle villagers here as well. There might be a play here based on resource counts. Gaius is a little bit ahead in the food production, tied at the villi count. Flu's World is going to go ahead and build a temple, get that landmark built so he can go ahead and age up. Going over, so is Gaius, also building that temple. I do like the spot here. Get a little bit of a barrier, if you will, between the opponent. We're immediately not going to worship at the temple because really, in my opinion, in Age 1, not necessarily the best that can be done here. Discovered quite a bit of goats as well. We're getting probably not too far from the tech up here. Some more goats trickling in. And if you're new to mythology, the goats and livestock that you gather fatten over time. So compared to, say, Age of Empires 4, where they have the maximum amount of food available, that's not the case here. You actually gotta wait. They're getting a fatten rate of 25 food a second. So it'll be a while before the food for those livestock are maxed out. Also going for the closest wood imaginable here, getting, with the granary, some more of the live animals out there. Not so much going. We're going to pivot over to the chickens now. Let's get a look at what Flu's World is doing here. This is the calm before the storm. We're kind of seeing, again, some more idle villagers. I'm unsure if that's intentional or not. Maybe there's some better micro at play here that we'll see. We see Gaius has advanced to the classical age after getting that landmark done. So he advances into Age 2 first. Oh, look at this. A priest from Flu's World wants to get some line of sight. Go over to Flu's World's map control here. What kind of line of sight he has. We got the Cyclops versus the hero. Now, heroes generally are a little bit better. They say they are good against myth units, but it's no match against the Cyclops. He even stole the goat as well. That's not very nice. Cyclops is going to chase down that priest. The priest says, absolutely not. We're not going to have any of it. We're going to walk in the shallow water here of the watering hole. But there are a few obelisks across the map to get that line of sight. And that's one of the reasons why I love some of the Egypt civs so much. That obelisk does look like it was built, so that is something that he has, I wouldn't say entire line of sight for, but I mean, that's a great indication. Meanwhile, Gaius's scout, just barely made it out. Managed to get some line of sight. Let's go over to Gaius's look. Yeah, you can kind of see, there's a temple, a few houses, a pair of granaries. But I do think at this exact moment, Flu's World has the advantage with that line of sight. Again, that's huge. Classical age through Anubis. With Flu's World, that means he gets one of the Anubite. I love these things that can jump. We're seeing a granary here. Maybe, let's say, Flu's World is like, yeah, I want that food source from those elephants. 100%. I don't know how many villagers you actually need. Oh, look at that. Oh, I don't know if that's a mistake or not, sir.
In wedge.
Oh, this is going to be painful. Oh my gosh, how many villagers are going to hit the floor here? I mean, he's going to lose at least one villager here. There goes one. Will he lose two? Meanwhile, there's an attack of serpents. Did he use the power? If he did, I apologize. I didn't see it. Gaius has the Ajax hero fending it off. Again, I say drop the Sentinel power here that he still has pocketed. Let that attack some of these units. Get some hit points going down on these and hopefully spare some more. Did he just throw a Villi at the Anubite? Looks like that kind of is what occurred. I'm going to take care of that obelisk. Meanwhile, the elephant is down. More villagers are here. That's got to be a great food source. I think that's really smart, getting you off of transitioning into farms. Get a couple of more monuments going. Monuments to the villagers and the soldiers under construction all at once. We don't see really any military production buildings out of Flu's World just yet. He is defended, of course, by the watchtowers. Let's go over to Gaius. What's he got going on? Building some military units. We got some spearmen, one archer, Ajax, going aggressively towards the wood here, mining gold. Now we are starting to go after the goats. We're about halfway, a little bit more than halfway through the food source, but I think if you've exhausted all of the other food sources available to you, then you totally should. We can see over here, by the way, he did drop the Plague of Serpents leader power when Flu's World previously attacked. From a score standpoint, Gaius is a little bit ahead. I don't know, about 10, 20%, something around there. Repeatedly reaching that population cap, and from a Villi count, Gaius is getting ahead just a little bit of 25 Villis to 21. Let's go ahead and go back to revealing the entire map so we can see kind of what both players are up to. Pharaoh is still enchanting the town center, which I think is a good move. It looks like, actually... Oh, I was going to say, is that town center not training villagers? But it is. Which is important. We got the armory back here. The blacksmith, whatever you prefer to call it. So therefore, we have the landmark available to us to age up. There's a market there as well. And look at this. Call this a proxy. Flu's World is building a barracks not too far from Gaius's hometown. Let's go over to Gaius. He's trading the armory here. He still has units training out of the archery range military academy. I mean, I do like the setup. I'm a big fan of the Greeks. Look at this over here. I love this play. So in Mythology, a little different if you're coming from AoE 4, but in Mythology, your buildings act as walls. So by doing this, not only has he greatly increased his population limit, but he's also made a little bit of a wall here to protect his units. Of course, that'll change with these chopped down trees, but it's something. If it can prevent some sort of flank from an opponent attack, I mean, I say that's worth it. The villagers from Flu's World has moved over for some more elephants. I think he tried this already with 3 and he loses 1. I don't know if that's a play call, a gamble that he's willing to take. He's definitely going to lose one. Maybe he thinks that the food source is worth the sacrifice of the villager. However, the villi count from Gaius is getting a lot higher than Flu's World. Looks like there's a queued up obelisk there as well. We can go back to the normal view. Yeah, it looks like he wants to see, hey, what's going on with my opponent here? We kind of want to make sure that we can kind of see everything. Well, he definitely knows what he has now from Gaius. We got one hero, one Cyclops. It's that free one. Most of it is in these spearmen. He also has the upgrade to the medium spearmen and with the archers. Flu's World getting into Age 3 first. Despite having a lower score, he went ahead and went forward with the Age 3. There's a lot of gold being pulled from Gaius. Gaius is just going to maintain a defensive position, if you will, researching Apollo for Age 3, continuing to get spearmen. Again, I question if there's some sort of strategy behind delaying using the Sentinel power or not. I don't see a downside into using it. The proxy here is building units. We have Axemen, Slingers, the Scorpion Man from the Age 3 tech up, as well as the house. Is the Pharaoh going to be in the attack position? It looks like that might actually be the case. There are some relics available, which I'm surprised no one's going for. Gaius has revealed at least a couple of relics. Looks like 3 relics are available to him. This one over here, Villagers Train Faster. I think that's an obvious one to go after. This one over here, increase building hit points. That'd probably be a good one in ones. And farms are cheaper. Oh my goodness. Looks like there's an attack moving out. You know, like maybe you could even get like a secondary hero just to pick up the relics, even if you want to try and do some other damage. Oh, look at this. Looks like as soon as Gaius left his base, he's being attacked by Flu's World. Is he gonna stick it? Looks like he is. Is he gonna attack these village? No, he's gonna turn around. He had some easy kills there. Oh, he's gonna bring one spearman remaining to get those final villagers. Meanwhile, Flu's World is attacking the base. This is where you want to drop the Sentinel power. I keep calling it up because it bugs me. Look at this. More leader powers are being dropped. They're dropping the Plague of Serpents again. In Retold, you can reuse leader powers as well as the Ancestors upgrade. I love that. I'm sorry, not upgrade, the leader power. A bunch of minions spawn from the ground, and they are timed. They do return back to the ground that they came from. A great way to get some easy units if you want just a bunch of units out on the field. You can see that power expired. All the minions and serpents are gone. Relatively an easy win for Gaius there. And as he's playing as Hades, there's a 20% chance that your dead units will come back as shades. And I think that that's really cool. It's actually a myth unit that's good versus human soldiers. Meanwhile, Gaius is going to start destroying some of the granaries out here by Flu's World. There's also a second town center dropped by Gaius. Now, if we go to what Gaius has explored, he actually doesn't even know of the proxy right here. You know, I guess that's probably, you know, if you want a forward town center to get maybe more of a line of sight of your opponent, that's probably the most aggressive one to get after. This is the safest one, of course, behind Gaius's base. Nonetheless, the units continue to train. We can see that there's the villagers have moved on to this forward gold pile. There's plenty of production buildings. There's 3 barracks, at least 2 archery ranges. There are units everywhere for Gaius. Going over to Flu's World, let's take a look at his base. This proxy is still being expanded upon. I love that. 2 barracks, siege works. There's more additional units. And aggressively going after the wood. Now with Egypt, almost every Egyptian unit requires gold to be built. We can also see a second town center is being built upon. They're dead even on the villager count right now, both at 37 villas. Floozworld has no idea that this town center has been taken. Looks like a small attack might be in rear with the gear. No? No, maybe not yet. Maybe not at this very moment. But nonetheless, units are still training. It's an exciting time right in between all of these different battles. There's a new monument that's been built, the monument to the priests. Monuments, oh, this is really cool. Divine Shield. Monuments prevent enemy god powers from being invoked nearby. Empowered monuments protect a wider area and heal nearby friendly units. That's really cool. Oh, look at this! An attack from Gaius in the homeland. Is Floozworld going to return the units back home? We'll have to keep an eye on that. No! It looks like he's going to go forward. Maybe not at all, actually. He's going to sit still. I'm very curious to see what that army does. The attack is going right at the town center. I don't see really any... We see some arrows flying from all of the towers nearby, but he is going to stick the damage. And look at that. Floozworld says, nope, we're going to send it, baby. The Shades will start the initial wave of defense there, as well as units that die here. It's a good tip. Can respawn back at the temple. So it looks like Gaius is just absolutely smoking it. We got idle villagers. Oh, the villies are going to be hitting the floor, ladies and gentlemen. There they go. I love the Cyclops can just pick up the units and throw them. That's really satisfying. I don't care who you are. Meanwhile,
Into you.
There's not really a whole lot of DPS, I don't think, here. Floozworld maybe having second thoughts, maybe taking out a house, maybe try to pop cap the gentleman. I'm unsure of the play call here. Nonetheless, Gaius is just going for the towers, protect his units. And then I imagine, yeah, there's an attack on a mining camp there. I think probably the best play call is to get these towers and then these monuments. Maybe the houses too, to start pop capping them. Looks like the villagers of Gaius has been found by Floozworld. Completely under siege. I don't know if he hit the bell or not. And that's why the villagers are kind of running into combat here. Let's go over to Gaius's. Is he training additional units? There's a few archers training. He's out of food. He has well, not really out of food. He doesn't have anyone getting food. He has 197 food. But a lot of villagers are falling here, and he now is under the villi count of Floozworld. Meanwhile, Floozworld base is just being obliterated. There's the Pestilence power. I still think that we need to drop this in the power. Just drop it. It's driving me nuts. Oh my goodness. Siege towers from Floozworld. They must have been training out of the siege works. Oh, this is gonna be something. So we're gonna be watching, what is it? The sentry tower's the first to go. Maybe it's in the way of the temple. Meanwhile, it looks like Floozworld has kind of more or less moved, letting his homeland die for the sake of letting the proxy live. He's got farms over there. Let's go over to the revealed section. Might be a little bit too little too late with these siege towers from Floozworld. There's a third one that's returning as reinforcements from Gaius are being trained. I don't even know if any of them might actually make it to the base. We'll see. Town Center did get a couple of hits. I mean, he's sticking it, making a whole bunch of many military units as he can. You got the Pharaoh back here. Might be better suited in powering a town center or something. There's the Serpent power again. Third time he's dropped that. Meanwhile, Gaius is just taking his time destroying all of the buildings. Looking at the progress bar, a little bit longer to go left in this match. That siege tower did fall. And siege tower fell and the town center lives. Some idle villagers there. Looking at what Gaius can see, he still has not discovered the proxy in which Flu's World is returning from, so that might be a reason why he hasn't discovered anything. Meanwhile, if we go to Flu's World on what he has discovered, he now has line of sight, and Gaius has, because of that obelisk, looks to have found all these villagers. Oh, this does not look good for the gentleman. Good old A move will take care of that nicely. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it might be towards the end of this match here. I mean, there are just so many villagers, not a whole lot of military. I really appreciate him sticking in with this. Still getting the gold. He's floating on gold, over 1,000 gold. The town center is really doing the bulk of the damage here to his army, yet Gaius is continuing to retrain units. Doesn't really care. Oh, he is rebuilding. Oh, that's another archer range. I thought that was going to be another temple. I think even just having a temple for the sake of getting the shades and when your units die as Hades is probably worth it. Haven't seen the underworld power being used at all from Gaius. That's that same Cyclops he had at the beginning of the match, by the way. And I think this is probably going to seal the deal here. Well, he got all of his goats. Is he going to return the goats back home? He is. That's really smart. I like that a lot. Taking their resources and using it for your own is one of the most petty things in Age of Empires, and I absolutely love it. You can see we got a whole lot of units training for Gaius in terms of Flu's World. Unfortunately, that is the end of the match here. Taking a look at some statistics, as a wise man once said, Big Shaq. There we go. Largest army, units killed, villagers killed, buildings razed, all go to Gaius. Very well played game, I think, overall. I think Flu's World could have been a little bit more utilized with the idle villagers, but nonetheless, it was an exciting first casted game here on the channel to embark on. There's going to be a playlist. I want to get more into the casting games. I think that'll be fun to get the fellas involved as well as we kind of do some more casting games. So I'll do a playlist just for the casted games. If you want to watch us play Age of Mythology Retold, there's a playlist for that as well. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you, James.